Highly recommend from Horizons Healthy Foods here. Just reading through this new issue of Good Medicine magazine, which is published by the Physicians Committee of Responsible Medicine, headed by Dr. Neal Barnard, so a very reputable organization. Let's take a look at some stuff we got. I'm not going to focus on the animal testing stuff. You can see that on your own. But up first, we have processed meats increase breast cancer risk. So not just breast cancer risk, but, processed meats are class 1 carcinogen as per the World Health Organization in 2015. So we know processed meats like ham, bacon, chicken nuggets cause cancer as much as we know that cigarettes, asbestos, and plutonium cause cancer. So, and yet it remains on most people's plate. Despite that, it's like, why are we having this stuff in schools? Would you give kids cigarettes when they go to lunch for their lunch break, for a smoking break? Would you give them shots of whiskey? I doubt it. So, I think we can do better. Inflammatory foods linked to colorectal cancer. Okay, same things. Your meats, your cheeses, your eggs, and your processed foods. Basically all inflammatory. So, yeah, we want anti-inflammatory plant foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds. What about dairy increases risk for prostate cancer? Well, sure it does. So if I had cancer or wanted to prevent cancers, I sure wouldn't be drinking dairy milk. All that animal protein, all that. It's a hormonal soup. So it's especially bad for increasing risk of hormonal cancers like prostate cancer and breast cancer. So yeah, we're not baby cows. Pretty much that simple. Okay, and lawsuit. Schools should stop serving students carcinogens. I agree 100%. I mean, what's more important than our youth's health? Why are we serving them this food when we have the science saying it's a carcinogen? Okay, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just big industry profits over our children's health. It's as simple as that. But it's 2018. It's like we're living in the dark ages. Just like children's menu should drop hot dogs from the menu. Absolutely. How's the kid supposed to get better after eating hot dogs? Why is a hospital not setting a good example as a place of health with healthy food, serving healthy food instead of just standard American diet food? That's beyond me. And then here we go. If you still don't believe me, California could add carcinogen warning to processed meat. Sure, cigarettes. There's a warning on cigarettes. Hey, carcinogenic. Everybody knows that. But, it's been since 2015 since the World Health Organization came out with this information. But the vast majority of people still have no idea that processed meats are class 1 carcinogens. So, and we have some, the beef industry trying to say that, beef doesn't raise your cholesterol and stuff like that. Nothing new there. Of course, it's nonsense. But then we have vegan diet boost function of insulin producing cells. And of course, Neal Barnard's reversing diabetes. Basically, insulin sensitivity is what you're trying to, you want to be more insulin sensitive. So most people's tissue cells are so gummed up with saturated fat, intermyocellular lipids, that the glucose isn't efficiently transported by the insulin into the tissue cells. So you have backs up in the bloodstream for high blood sugar. But the cause is insulin resistance. Too much fat in the blood, predominantly. So, the vegan diet doesn't have saturated fat, other than like a pinch from like coconut or a couple nuts seeds, but very low in saturated fat. So, go on a low-fat vegan diet, tend to be able to reverse type 2 diabetes oftentimes in a few weeks. Not always, but if nothing else, you can usually decrease the amount of insulin that you need. And even for type 1 diabetic, they probably still always be a type 1 diabetic, but they might need 50% less insulin than before, which is huge. That's huge. So, and then we got, that's not coming in very good. How plant-based athletes are changing the game. They're talking about the documentary, The Game Changer, and all the plant-based athletes around the world in all sorts of sports. I have been waiting for this documentary for months and months, and still no word on when exactly the average person can watch it, but it's supposed to be, according to Dr. Greger, who saw it, the best science-based, evidence-based, plant-based documentary yet. It's going to change the game. And that's one of the reasons I, strive to become a better athlete. So is to set a good example, to try to change the game and how people see it. You know, you don't need animal protein for your body. You just don't. And more athletes are realizing the benefits of it. You know, an anti-inflammatory diet is awesome for that stuff. So, yeah, still waiting. And finally, we saw in a former issue about MS and plant-based diet. So, yeah, I mean, the best evidence we have to date is the Swank diet, with as much as 50-year follow-up studies. And that wasn't a completely plant-based diet, but very low in saturated fat, so close to it. So, yeah, I mean, can do wonders for you. So, I want to check out that if you have MS. Okay, that's the video. All sorts of good topics there. Of course, main ones being processed meats, class 1 carcinogens. I'll probably keep saying this because no one's really listening. But tell your friends, don't tell them what not to do. Just say, processed meats, class 1 carcinogens. I don't care what you do. I'm not your mother. You can make up your own mind as long as you have the information to make an informed decision. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to carb up. Don't forget to green up. See you next time.